Yo, what's up? My name is Damion Omar Lee, and you're watching hashtag Verse TV. So like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Hashtag Verse TV, week 157. Hello, social media family, and welcome to hashtag Verse TV, week 157. This is hashtag All the Tea. I'm Aaron Mack, and I'm here with my good friend, actor, producer, writer, director, and owner of Noble Filmworks LLC, representing the multifaceted layers of our culture and telling stories through cinematic lenses which are innovative, inspiring, and groundbreaking. Damion Omar Lee. Damion Omar Lee, please say hi to our hashtag Verse TV family.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? How you doing? And thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate having you. Super excited. Absolutely. And for our audience who may not yet know, where are you from and what do you love most about your residence journey thus far?
I am originally from, or I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and still residing in Brooklyn, New York. And hey, that's a great question. Um, I think it's just more so just the story itself, the journey. Like I just, you have your ups and downs. You go through you go through so much, but then when you look at where you are currently, when you allow yourself to be in the present moment, you understand and you got to start to see like why everything happened. You know what I mean? Regardless the good, the bad, the ups and downs, like you have a very clear understanding of why it happened. And so, it's just the journey in itself, just the experience for me.
Excellent. All right. And how has your origin influenced your actual work?
Whew, I didn't you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't grow up like I mean, I think I was always creative, but as far as like acting specifically, it wasn't something that I necessarily like thought about doing. Um, but I also think that my life prior to that, and just in my life prior to that, somewhat prepared me for what's to come. It allowed me to be in tune because just growing up, just my life and my my family, my upbringing, and not to say that it was, I'm not gonna just kind of sell like I had to struggle or whatever, but there were just certain situations where um they prepared me for what I'm doing now. It made me very sensitive to a lot of things. I feel like I grew up really fast. I had to grow up really fast. So with that, I was exposed to a lot very early. And because of that, I was able to, I've been able to project that in my work, whether I'm acting, whether I'm you know, modeling, whether I'm writing, all of that everything that I've been through, I'm able to just put it into my work and just come out with a story.
Hmm. Nice. So your background has contributed in many ways through your experiences, and you write about those experiences. And we'll get into all of
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can even give you, I just tell you just a little quick story. So I didn't meet my father until later on in life. The first time I met my dad was 2013, 2014 actually. It was the first time and the last time I've ever seen him. The first time I met him, the last time I've ever seen him after that day. You know what I'm saying? But that experience really it really like just having that meeting that person and then how everything turned out afterwards. Um, he would never know this. But for me, it was that it was that kind of turning point in in myself where it opened me up. Made me very vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it. I didn't know it initially, but it just really triggered something. It turned, most people would talk about how like a situation like that would turn you off or shut you off, but it actually turned me on. Like it like did something to me, like made me more open, made me more empathetic. Um and so then as an artist, I just was able to feel more and then put that, because ultimately when I after I met him, we were supposed to meet up again, and he changed all his information. You know what I mean? He blocked me on social media. He blocked my email. And the crazy thing about it, I didn't even know he existed um until that that time. My mother had me believing it was a whole other person. So you can imagine that mind fuck. You know what I mean? So it was, so it was just a lot that was going on there. So that's what I mean when I say a lot of our experiences, like my experiences in anyway, have really just kind of prepared that, because sometimes we need outlets um to be able to put all of that somewhere. You know what I mean? Whether it's pain, anger, like, frustration, you need an outlet to be able to release. And I think that I needed that if I wanted to be, I think between that and having my son, it was those two things that really just opened me way up, where I felt like I became a better artist after that.
Absolutely. And speaking of your artistry, and I can imagine that just wow is all I have to say to that. But I can imagine how that can have such an impact. And it's fortunate that you were able to take that and transfer it to your art. And
Right.
speaking of your art, your professional film credits are quite extensive. And
Right.
I ask, when did you first realize that you have a talent and a skill for acting? And please give our hashtag VerseTV family a sip of all the tea on your journey to begin professional acting.
Right. So so just like, so I started acting. Um my first movie was Finding Forrest. Like, and I had a co-starring role in that movie. And before then I didn't have any sort of, I had no passion to act. It was the furthest thing on my mind. It's something I didn't even want to do. and I remember my manager at the time, when, because I was just modeling, and so he was like, I think it's this audition that you can go to. I think that you'll get it. And I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. He was like, but I think you should go. And I'm like, no, I'm not going. Like, I'm not interested. Like, I'm good. He was like, what's the problem? Because I was like, I don't want to act. We're having this whole, I mean, blowing out argument. Shout out to, his name is Rodney Love Jones. He was my first manager. And literally we had this, like, literally we cursed each other out in his office. So eventually I said, you know what, fuck it. Excuse my language, but I said, I'm gonna go because I just want to shut you up and leave me alone. I didn't even think that I was gonna get the part, to be honest. Um, and so when I did go to the audition, I remember there were like a whole bunch of people. It was like an open call type of thing. But I just remember being a whole bunch of people. And then eventually I read for, I guess, associate casting director initially. And I didn't, like I said, I knew nothing about acting. Like, so I'm just, see, I got these pages in my line. I gotta read this stuff, and all I could think about was Tupac Shakur, because I was a Tupac fan, and so I just remember his performance in Juice, and that's what I thought about when I read the lines. So,
Okay.
so that's how I came across. And
Nice.
so she was like, "Oh, that was great. I want you to stay." And so and then I read for another person. And then I ended up reading for the actual casting director. And
Nice.
so I remember, he had me read the different lines, and it was just me. And I remember it was me and the guy who actually got the part, Rob Brown. He got the lead, so we were leading for the lead actor. And so I read it again, and they were like, "All right, we want you to come back, go to the casting office to get a script." So I was like, "All right, cool." You know what I mean? I go, and so I went and got the script, and they had me come back again. I maybe went to like 5 or 6 different auditions, and eventually, once we played basketball, I knew I had the part. Like
Oh,
once I got on the court, I was like, "Oh, I got this," because you know what I mean. I play ball, you know what I mean. So I was just like, "I got this," and so I booked it, and that was it. And I remember like Sean Connery, like the one that time, because we rehearsed and they shot some of the movie in Toronto, and so that's what we did rehearsing. So I remember, so the lead actor Rob, he had an apartment in like the top floor of this luxury high rise, and Sean Connery was like right next door to him, and so we got to meet him. And I remember, like, I will always remember him because he had this voice that just resonated through you. Like when he spoke, you like it was like your grandfather. You listened, like you just was like, damn, like even if you were like had your back turned and he talked, you have to turn your back to be like, yo, who's that? He just had that type of voice.
nice.
And so I just remember him talking about, he was telling us just to be ready. He was like, "Yo, get ready. It's gonna get crazy." And
Nice.
he said just be. He talked about the women. That's what he talked about. Like he was like,
Okay.
the women, it's gonna get crazy. Just watch and see. And he wasn't lying. Like
Wow.
it was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, he was a good dude. Like I just I didn't like I had a good experience like meeting him. And
Nice.
so yeah, with all my film credits, it just that's where it started. And then after that, after that, interestingly enough, I had an opportunity to audition for the Antoine Fisher story. You can find me, like, I mean, I'm Googleable. So you
Yes,
can
you
just look
are.
me up. You find me. I'm out there. My Instagram is the Hollywood actor. Um, and then my Facebook is just my name, Damion Omar Lee. And I'm pretty, like I said, I'm easy to find. I have my website, which is www.noblefilmworks.com.